Hello students, let's continue with Maths 1, Chapter 2, that is Quadratic Equation Part 2. In the previous video, we had studied about solution of quadratic equation by factorization method, and the last part was ended up with practice set 2.2. Now we shall continue with the further part of the chapter. The next topic, if you see in the textbook, is nothing but solution of quadratic equation by completing the square. This method is deleted from the portion for now, and therefore the exercise 2.3 also will not be there for the exam. Now we shall move with the next topic, that is formula for solving a quadratic equation. The general quadratic equation or the expression is ax square plus bx plus c. So the roots of the equation are x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Since it is plus and minus, we get two values. One value is denoted as alpha, another value is denoted as beta. Alpha is equal to minus b plus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and beta is equal to minus b minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. The derivation is mentioned in your textbook, but while we are doing the derivation, we need to know the completing square method. So since the method is excluded or deleted from the portion, I will not be explaining you the derivation. You have to just memorize the formula, because we are going to use this formula to solve the quadratic equation. Let's do the first example. So this is nothing but a quadratic equation. We have to solve it. But now we will not be using the factorization method, but we will using the root method. Okay. 3x square plus 14x plus 15. When I compare it with my general equation ax square plus bx plus c, the values of a, b and c are a is equal to 3, b is equal to 14 and c is equal to 15. Now if you had seen the formula, it was under root b square minus 4ac. So we shall first find out the value of b square minus 4ac, which is equal to 14 square minus 4 into 3 into 15. 14 square is nothing but 196. 4 threes are 12. 12 into 15 is nothing but 180. 196 minus 180 is equal to 16. Now we shall use the formula x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. On substituting, we get x is equal to minus 14 plus or minus under root 16 upon 2 into 3. Since it is minus and plus, we shall get two different values now. So x is equal to minus 14 plus root 16 upon 2 into 3, or x is equal to minus 14 minus under root 16 upon 2 into 3. Minus 14 plus root 16 is nothing but 4. 2 into 3 is 6. So x is equal to minus 14 plus 4 upon 6, or x is equal to minus 14 minus 4 upon 6. Plus and minus is minus, so minus 14 plus 4 will give you minus 10. Minus and minus is plus, So 14 plus 4 is 18. So you get the value x is equal to minus 10 upon 6 or x is equal to minus 18 upon 6. It can be further simplified. So x is equal to minus 5 upon 3 or x is equal to minus 3. And therefore minus 5 upon 3 and minus 3 are the roots of the equation. Okay, so if you see, you can do by factorization method also, but since the factorization becomes a lengthier process, we use a formula method. Let's move to practice set 2.4. The first question, compare the given quadratic equation to the general formula and write the values of a, b and c. Third question, y square is equal to 7y. So we shall take the 7y off from the left hand side, from the right hand side to the left hand side. So it will become y square minus 7y plus 0 is equal to 0. Now why did I add 0? Because we have to make the equation in terms of ax square plus bx plus c. We have the term y square and 7y, but the c term is absent or it is not there. So we add 0 on both the sides. So that is why it is y square minus 7y plus 0 is equal to 0. Comparing with the general equation ax square plus bx plus c, the values of a, b and c are a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 7 and c is equal to 0. Second question, solve using the formula. 3m square plus 2m minus 7 is equal to 0. Now this is nothing but a quadratic equation. Since they have mentioned solve using the formula, you will solve it using the formula. But if they have just written factorization, then you will do the factorization which we had done in the practice set 2.2. Now comparing with the general equation, we get a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2 and c is equal to minus 7. When we get the values of a, b and c, the next step is the finding of b square minus 4ac. So when I substitute the values, I get 2 square minus 4 into 3 into minus 7. Here the sign is very important. If it is minus, please see to that the minus sign is written. 2 square is nothing but 4. 4 threes are 12. 12 into 7 is 84. Minus 84. Minus and minus is plus 84. So 4 plus 84 is equal to 88. Now the formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now we substitute the values. X is equal to minus 2 plus or minus under root 88 upon 2 into 3. Plus or minus, so we will have two different values. X is equal to minus 2 plus under root 88 upon 2 into 3. X is equal to minus 2 minus under root 88 upon 2 into 3. Now we do not have a perfect square for 88, but it can be simplified further. 88 is nothing but 4 into 22. So when we get 4 into 22, square root of 4 is nothing but 2. Square root of 22 is not available, so it will be inside the square root sign. So the next step we get is x is equal to minus 2 plus 2 into root 22 upon 6, or x is equal to minus 2 under root 22 upon 6. Now if you see in the numerator 2 and 2 is there, so we can take out the common term outside. So on taking the common term outside, we get x is equal to 2 bracket minus 1 plus root 22 upon 6, or x is equal to 2 bracket minus 1 minus root 22 upon 6. 2 and 6 can get cancelled from the numerator and denominator. So 2 ones are, and in the denominator we will get 3. Therefore, the value of x is equal to minus 1 plus root 22 upon 3, or x is equal to minus 1 minus root 22 upon 3. Further, nothing can be done. It's already simplified. So we will leave it as it is. And therefore, our final answer is minus 1 plus 22 upon 3 and minus 1 minus 22 upon 3 are the roots of the equation. The fourth question, 5m square minus 4m minus 2 is equal to 0. Comparing with the general equation, the values of a, b and c are a is equal to 5, b is equal to minus 4 and c is equal to minus 2. Yes, what is the next step now? The next step is nothing but finding the value of b square minus 4ac. On substituting the values, I get minus 4 the whole square minus 4 into 5 into minus 2. Minus 4 the whole square is 16. 4 5s are 20. 20 into 2 is 40. Minus and minus is plus. So we get 16 plus 40, which is equal to 56. We'll substitute in the formula x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So when we substitute, we get x is equal to minus bracket minus 4 plus or minus under root 56 upon 2 into 5. Since it is plus and minus, we get two different values. So x is equal to minus from the bracket, and outside bracket minus and minus goes off. So we get 4 plus root 56 upon 2 into 5, or x is equal to 4 minus root 56 upon 2 into 5. 56 is nothing but 4 into 14. So when we take 4 outside, under root the square root of 4 is nothing but 2. So we get 4 plus 2 into root 14 upon 10, or 4 minus 2 root 14 upon 10. Again 2 is common, so we take 2 common outside. 2 bracket 2 plus root 14 upon 10, x is equal to 2 bracket 2 minus root 14 upon 10. 2 and 10, something can be cancelled off or reduced, so we get x is equal to 2 plus root 14 upon 5, x is equal to 2 minus root 14 upon 5. Further simplification cannot be done, so we will leave the answer as it is. So the final answer is 2 plus root 14 upon 5 and 2 minus root 14 upon 5 are the roots of the equation. The fifth question, y square plus 1 upon 3y is equal to 0. y square plus 1 upon 3y is equal to 2. Sorry, not 0, 2. Now what we will do, we will take the 2 from the right hand side to the left hand side. So we get y square plus 1 upon 3y minus 2 is equal to 0. I do not want the fraction, so I will multiply throughout by 3. On multiplication throughout by 3, I get 3y square plus 1y minus 6 is equal to 0. Now when I compare with the general equation, the values of a, b and c obtained are a is equal to 3, b is equal to 1 and c is equal to minus c. Next step is finding b square minus 4ac, which is equal to 1 square minus 4 into 3 minus 6. 1 square is 1, 4 3s is 12, minus 12 into minus 6 is plus 72. So 1 plus 72 is equal to 73. Now we shall substitute in the formula x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. X is equal to minus 1 plus or minus under root 73 upon 2 into 3. X is equal to minus 1 plus root 73 upon 2 into 3, or x is equal to minus 1 minus root 73 upon 2 into 3. 73 is a prime number, cannot be simplified further, so we will leave it as it is. So we get x is equal to minus 1 plus root 73 upon 6, or x is equal to minus 1 minus root 73 upon 6. So your final answer is minus 1 plus root 73 upon 6 and minus 1 minus root 73 upon 6 are the roots of the equation. Okay students, now let's move to the next topic, that is nature of roots of a quadratic equation. Okay, so now in the previous videos, slides we studied that how the roots are obtained. But now we will study that what is the nature of the root. So for that we take the value of x. X is nothing but minus b plus and minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. This is nothing but the root of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx minus plus c. Now the first condition, if the value of b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. So when I get b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, my equation will be x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root 0 upon 2a. So I get two values, x is equal to minus b plus 0 upon 2a, which will ultimately give me minus b upon 2a, and x is equal to minus b minus 0 upon 2a, which will give me minus b upon 2a. So in both the cases the roots are equal, that is minus b upon 2a, and they are real. So when the b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, the roots of the quadratic equation are real and they will be equal. Next one, if the value of b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. So x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. We get two different values. X is equal to minus b plus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and x is equal to minus b minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So there are two different values which we are getting. They are unequal in nature, but they are real. So the quadratic roots of quadratic equations are real and unequal because one is positive, one is negative. Plus b minus b plus under root b square minus 4ac, and one is minus b square minus 4ac. So they are unequal, but they are real in nature. The third type, if the value of b square minus 4ac is less than 0, that means it is in negative. So when we get in negative, they are not real in nature. That means they are not real numbers. So x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. They are not real numbers, and that is why the roots of quadratic equations are not real, because the values of under root square sign is in negative. So that is why they are not real in nature. Nature of the roots of quadratic equation is determined by the value of b square minus 4ac. Just now we say, so if the value is equal to 0, then they are real and equal. If the value of b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then they are real but unequal. And if the value of b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then they are not real. So depending upon the value of b square minus 4ac, the nature of quadratic equation, the root can be determined. And b square minus 4ac is called as the discriminant of the quadratic equation. It is given by the Greek letter delta. Let's see one example now. 3m square plus 2m minus 7. When we compare it with the general equation, the values of a, b and c are: a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2 and c is equal to minus 7. So we will find out the value of b square minus 4ac, which is equal to 2 the square minus 4 into 3 into minus 7, which is equal to 4 plus 84, and therefore the value of d is equal to 88. Now when you just recollect, the value of d, that is b square minus 4ac, is greater than 0. When the value is greater than 0, then the roots of the quadratic equation are real but unequal in nature. So the roots of the quadratic equation are real and unequal for this quadratic equation. Now let's move to the next topic. To obtain the quadratic equation having given roots. Till now the equation was given and we were finding the roots. Now here the roots will be given and we have to frame or find out the quadratic equation. So the given roots, I consider let alpha and beta be the roots of quadratic equation in variable x. So x is equal to alpha or x is equal to beta. I take alpha and beta to my left side. So I get x minus alpha is equal to 0 or x minus beta is equal to 0. Both right hand side are same. So I get x minus alpha into x minus beta is equal to 0. Now x minus alpha into x minus beta, that is multiplication of two brackets, you can do either by opening the bracket or by the formula which we have studied in the 8th standard. Here I have shown the opening the bracket method. X minus alpha into x minus beta, so I multiply the first x into the second bracket, that is x into x minus beta minus alpha into x minus beta. X into x is nothing but x square. X minus beta is equal to minus x beta minus alpha into x is equal to minus alpha x minus alpha into minus beta is plus alpha beta. X square will be written as it is, minus x beta and minus alpha x X is common, so I take minus x outside. Inside the bracket, I will get beta plus alpha, bracket close, plus alpha beta. So my answer is x square minus alpha plus beta, bracket x, plus alpha beta is equal to 0. So when the two roots of the equation are given, then the quadratic equation can be obtained as x square minus addition of the roots. Alpha plus beta is nothing but addition of the roots into x, plus product of the root. Alpha and beta are multiplied, so it is product of the root. So if you see the last one, it is framed, it is the equation obtained is nothing but in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. But here there is a negative sign, that is minus into addition of the root. So the negative sign has to be implemented. It is the formula. Let's see one example. Obtain the quadratic equation if the roots are 2 and 3. So we consider alpha as 2 and beta as 3. So we have to find two things. One is the product and one is the sum. So for sum we have to use alpha plus beta, which is equal to 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. Second is product alpha into beta, which is equal to 2 into 3, equal to 6. Let's see the formula now. The quadratic equation is x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. X square will remain as it is, minus alpha plus beta. What is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is nothing but 5. So we get x square minus 5x plus alpha beta, that is the product, is 6. So the the equation is x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Very simple sum. You have to just know the values, have to multiply it, add it, and then substitute in the equation, and you get your quadratic equation. Let's move to the next exercise now. Practice set 2.5. Question 2. Find the value of the discriminant. First equation, the third question. Root 2x square plus 4x plus 2 into root 2 is equal to 0. So on comparison with your general equation, the values of a, b and c obtained are a is equal to root 2, b is equal to 4 and c is equal to 2 root 2. Well, how do we find the value for discriminant? By using the formula b square minus 4ac, which is equal to 4 square minus 4 into root 2 into 2 root 2. 4 square is nothing but 16 minus, now pay attention here, root 2 into root 2 is nothing but 2. 2 2s are 4. 4 into 4 is equal to 16. So we get 16 minus 16, which is equal to 0. So the value for discriminant D or delta is equal to 0. Third question. Determine the nature of roots of the quadratic equation. Third question. M square plus 2m plus 9 is equal to 0. On comparing with the general equation, the values for a, b and c are mentioned as a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2 and c is equal to 9. To determine the nature of the root, we have to use the formula b square minus 4ac. So we get 2 the whole square minus 4 into 1 into 9. 2 square is nothing but 4 minus 4 ones are 4, 4 nines is 36. So we get 4 minus 36, which is equal to minus 32. We have studied if the value of b square minus 4ac is less than 0, minus 32 is less than 0, then the roots are not real. So the roots of the quadratic equation are not real. Fourth question. From the quadratic equation from the roots given below. So we have to form the quadratic equation from the roots which are given below. Third question we are doing 1 upon 2 and minus 1 upon 2. So we take alpha as 1 upon 2 and beta as minus 1 upon 2. So when we have to form the quadratic equation, what are the two things we have to do? One is the addition and the second one is the product. So alpha plus beta is nothing but half plus bracket minus half. So when you open up the bracket, plus and minus becomes minus. Half minus half is equal to 0. And the product alpha into beta, you will get half into minus half, which is equal to minus 1 upon 4. Now you will substitute in the equation x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. So we will get x square minus 0x plus minus 1 upon 4 is equal to 0. 0 into x is nothing but 0, so we can eliminate that term. Plus and minus is minus, so we will get x square minus 1 upon 4 is equal to 0. So this is your quadratic equation obtained from the roots given 1 upon 2 and minus 1 upon 2. Fourth question, 2 minus root 5 and 2 plus root 5. Considering alpha as 2 minus root 5 and beta as 2 plus root 5, alpha plus beta is equal to 2 minus root 5 plus 2 plus root 5. Minus root 5 plus root 5 gets cancelled. So you are left with 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4. Alpha into beta is 2 minus root 5 into 2 plus root 5. If you see, this is nothing but similar to a minus b, a plus b. So a minus b, a plus b is nothing but a square minus b square, which is equal to 2 square minus root 5 the whole square, which is equal to 4 minus 5, which is equal to minus 1. Now we will substitute in the formula, that is x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta. X square will remain as it is, minus alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta value is 4, so we get minus 4x plus alpha beta, plus alpha beta. Value of alpha beta is minus 1, so it's written minus 1. So it is x square minus 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is your quadratic equation obtained when the roots are 2 minus root 5 and 2 plus root 5. Seventh question. The roots of the roots of each of the following quadratic equation are real and equal. Find k. So we'll do the second sub question now. Kx into x minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 0. We have to find out the value for k but they have given the condition that the roots are real and equal in nature. Kx bracket x minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 0. We will open up the bracket. So we will get kx square minus 2kx plus 6 is equal to 0. When I compare it with my general equation, the value for a is k, b is equal to minus 2k, and c is equal to 6. I'll find the value for b square minus 4ac. I will get minus 2k the whole square minus 4 into k into 6. Minus 2 square is nothing but 4. K will become k square. Minus 4 into 6 is 24k. So I will get 4k square minus 24k. They have mentioned that the condition is that the roots are real and equal. So when the value of b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the roots are real and equal. So according to the given condition, the roots of the given quadratic equation are real and equal. So b square minus 4ac has to be equal to 0. But what is the value of b square minus 4ac we obtained? We have got it as 4k square minus 24k is equal to 0. Taking the common term outside, 4k bracket k minus 6 is equal to 0. So 4k is equal to 0 or k minus 6 is equal to 0. K is equal to 0 0.4, which is equal to 0, or k is equal to 6, and therefore the value of k is equal to 6. Now let's move to the next part of the topic and the last part, that is the application of a quadratic equation. We shall be doing it in the practice set 2.6. Application of quadratic equation is nothing but the word problems where we have to frame the equation and solve the equation. First question: the product of Pragati's age 2 years ago and 3 years hence is 84. Find her present age. Okay, so they have given Pragati 2 years ago and 3 years hence means later. The product of two age is 84. So let us assume that the Pragati's present age is X. Now they have written that 2 years ago. So 2 years ago Pragati's age was X minus 2 years, and 3 years later, so 3 years later Pragati's age would be X plus 3 years. Now, according to the given condition, what is the condition? Product of Pragati's age 2 years ago. 2 years ago it was x minus 2, and 3 years hence it is going to be x plus 3 is 84. So product is nothing but multiplication. So we get x minus 2 into x minus 3 is equal to 84. This is your equation which is received, or which we framed out. So according to the given condition, x minus 2 into x plus 3 is equal to 84. We will open up the bracket. Either you open up the brackets or you use the formula method. I have shown both to you all, and the final equation obtained is x squared plus x minus 90 is equal to 0. I will not be explaining you because I have explained previous slides also. And the second method, which is opening up the bracket, the formula is also mentioned, which you have already studied in your 8th class. You can have a look at it and you can use your any one of the method. So we take the quadratic equation x square plus x minus 90 is equal to 0. So two numbers when we multiply, we will get the product as 90, and when we add or subtract, we get the answer as 1. That is nothing but 10 into 9. So x square plus 10x minus 9x minus 90 is equal to 0. So we take the first two term common and the second term together. So x plus 10 minus 9 x plus 10 is equal to 0. So we will get x minus 9 and x plus 10 is equal to 0. We separated x minus 9 is equal to 0 or x plus 10 is equal to 0. Therefore, the value of x is equal to 9 or x is equal to minus 10. But x is nothing but age, and age cannot be negative, and therefore we consider x is equal to 9. X is nothing but the present age of Pragati, and therefore the Pragati's present age is 9 years, which is also the answer to the problem. The word nor cannot be negative has to be mentioned because we are getting two values, but we have to justify why we are taking only one value. Not only for this sum, for the other sums also when we are solving, we have to justify the reason why the answer cannot be a negative answer. So here I have mentioned since x is taken as age cannot be a negative, and therefore we consider x is equal to 9. The value of x is taken as positive value, that is 9. Second question. Sum of the square of two consecutive natural even number is 244. Find the number. So we'll consider the first consecutive natural number to be 2x. Since it is written as natural even number, we take it as 2x. And the second consecutive natural number will be 2x plus 2. Consecutive means is the next number. Since it is even number, we are adding plus 2. Now, what is the condition given here? Sum of the squares. So, when they are saying the squares, it will become 2x squared, and 2x plus 2 the whole square is equal to 244. So, they have mentioned it as sum. That means addition. So, according to the given condition, we will get 2x squared plus 2x plus 2 the whole square is equal to 244. So this is your given condition according to the question. Now we shall open up the brackets. So on opening the bracket, 2x square the whole square is nothing but 4x square plus 2x plus 2 the whole square. When we open up the bracket, we get 4x square plus 8x plus 4. 244, which was on my right hand side, when I move it to the left hand side, I get it as minus 244. Now we shall add the terms which are common. 4x square plus 4x square will give me 8x plus, 8x square plus 8x plus 244, plus 4 minus 244 will give me minus 240. If you see the number, there is the number 8 can be divided throughout. So when we divide it throughout by 8, we get x square plus x minus 30 is equal to 0. Now here 30 we should get as a product, and when we add or subtract, the answer should be 1. So the two numbers which can be taken are nothing but 5 and 6. So we will write it as x square plus 6x minus 5x minus 30 is equal to 0. Taking the common terms, we get x bracket x plus 6 minus 5 x plus 6 is equal to 0. X plus 6 x minus 5 is equal to 0. When we split it up, we get x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 6 is equal to 0. X is equal to 5. Since it was x minus 5, so we will get it as x is equal to 5 and x is equal to minus 6. Again, x is considered as an even natural number. So natural number cannot be negative and therefore the value of x is taken as 5. The first consecutive natural even number is 2x, which is equal to 2 into 5, which is nothing but 10. The second consecutive natural number is 2x plus 2, that is 10 plus 2, which is equal to 12. And therefore our final answer is the two consecutive natural even numbers are 10 and 12. The sixth question: Mr. Kasam runs a small business of making earthen pots. He makes certain number of pots on a daily basis. Production cost of each pot is rupees 40, more than 10 times the total number of pots he makes in one day. If the production cost of all the pots per day is rupees 600, find the production cost of one pot and the number of pots he makes per day. The problem looks very big, but it is very simple. Let's start with the solution. Now, first condition, there are many things. Now, what they have asked that he is running a small earthen business. He's preparing earthen pots. Production cost of each pot. One pot is nothing but 40 rupees plus 10 times the total number of pots he is making in a day. And the production cost of all the pots is nothing but 600 rupees. We have to find two things. One is the production cost of one pot and how many pots he is making per day. So let us assume that x be the number of pots he is making on a daily basis. So let the number of pots made on daily basis be x. According to the first condition, production cost of each pot. Now we will consider each pot is rupees 40 more than 10 times the total number of pots. So 40 more means plus 10 times the total number of pots. So 10 times means 10 and number of pots he makes in a day. So number of pots he makes in a day is x. So 10 times will become 10x. So 40 plus 10x is the production cost of one pot. Now let's move to the second condition. Second condition states that if the production cost of all the pots per day is rupees 600. We already know what is the production cost of one pot. One pot is nothing but 40 plus 10x. Now they are saying the production cost of all pot. What will be the production cost of one pot? All pot will be the number of pots, that is x, into the cost of one pot, which is equal to 10x plus 40. So the equation according to the given condition is x into 10x plus 40 is equal to 600. So according to the given condition, we get x upon 10x plus 40 is equal to 600. Now the equation is there. You will open up the bracket. You will solve it. You will get the value of x. When you get the value of x, you will get the number of pots on a daily basis. And using 10x plus 40 formula, you will get the production cost of one pot. The sum you have to solve on your own. Till here I have given you the solution. Now further part of solving the quadratic equation, you will be doing it on your own. Question number 7. Pratik takes 8 hours to travel 36 km downstream and returns to the same spot. The speed of the boat in still water is 12 km per hour. Find the speed of water current. Okay, now what they have given, that Pratik is there. He is traveling in water in the boat and he is taking 36 kilometer to travel downstream and upstream because he is returning. That means one way and the second way when he travels, he is taking traveling 36 kilometer and the time taken is 8 hours to go and come back. The speed of the boat is 12 kilometer per hour. We have to find out the speed of the water current. So let's take x as the speed of the water current. So since speed is mentioned, we will take the x in terms of kilometer per hour. Now if this is the water current, this is the water which I have shown. The boat is here. When it is going downwards, the flow of the water current is also in the same direction. Since the water current and the boat are both moving in the same direction, the speed of the boat will definitely increase, and therefore the speed of the boat in downstream will be 12 plus x kilometer. 12 is the speed of the boat and x is the speed of the water current. So when the boat is moving in the downward stream, since the speed of the boat and since the boat and the water current are both in the same direction, this will lead to the increase in the speed of the boat, and that is why the speed of the boat in downstream is 12 plus x kilometer. But when it is returning from the downstream to the upstream, now it is going in the reverse direction. Upstream means it is going against the flow of water current. Now since it is going against the flow of water current, there is a difference in the speed of the boat. The speed will decrease and therefore the speed of boat in upstream will become 12 minus x kilometer. The speed will increase and it will take a longer time for it to reach. So as the speed is decreasing, we have written it as a minus x kilometer. I hope it is understood why it is 12 plus x in downstream and 12 minus x in the upstream. In the downstream, since the water current and the direction of the boat are in the same direction, the speed will definitely increase. But in the negative way, but in the reverse condition, that is in the upstream, the boat is moving in an opposite direction as terms of the water current, and that is why 12 minus x kilometer is the speed of the boat in upstream. Now, since speed, distance, and time is mentioned, we will use the formula speed is equal to distance upon time. Now, we will frame two equations. One is for the downstream, one is for the upstream. Speed we have already got for downstream and upstream. Distance is common because it is mentioned that they are traveling 36 kilometer. So 36 kilometer going and coming back. And time we do not know. They have mentioned the time together is 8 kilometer, but specific time for the downstream and upstream is not mentioned. Let's see how to solve the further part of the problem. Considering in downstream, so the speed is nothing but 12 plus x, distance is 36, time is taken as t1. I rearrange the equation to bring it in terms of time. So I get time t1 is equal to 36 upon 12 plus x. This is in downstream. In upstream, it will become 12 minus x is equal to 36 upon t2. Rearranging the equation in terms of T2, I will get T2 is equal to 36 upon 12 minus x. According to the given condition, Pratik takes 8 hours to travel 36 kilometers downstream and return to the same spot. So when he travels and he is returning, he is taking only 8 hours. So according to the given condition, we can say that T1 plus T2 is equal to 8. We know the equation, what the substitution of T1 and T2. T1 is 36 upon 12 plus x plus 36 upon 12 minus x is equal to 8. Cross multiplying, I get 36 into 12 minus x plus 36 into 12 plus x upon 12 plus x into 12 minus x is equal to 8. Now the simplification, you can do any method of your choice. I'm just opening up the brackets and doing it. 36 into 12 is 432. 36 into minus x is minus 36x. 36 into 12 is again 432. 36 plus x is equal to plus 36x. 12 plus x, 12 minus x is nothing but a plus b, a minus b. So I get it as a square minus b square, which is 12 square minus x square. Now in this equation, minus 36 and plus 36 will get cancelled and 432 plus 432 will be added. So I get 864. When I move the denominator to the left hand side, the right hand side term, I take it to the denominator of my left hand side. So I get 864 upon 8 is equal to 12 square is 144 and x square is x square. So I get 864 divided by 8 is 108 is equal to 144 minus x square. I take 144 to my left hand side. I get 108 minus 144 is equal to minus x square. Minus 36 is equal to minus x square. Minus and minus sign gets cancelled. X square is equal to 36. So square root of 36 is nothing but plus or minus 6. But what did we assume x as? X is nothing but the speed of the water current. Speed cannot be negative and therefore x is considered as positive 6 and not negative 6. And therefore our answer is speed of the water current is 6 kilometer per hour. Question number 8. Pinto takes 6 days more than those of Nishu to complete a certain work. If they work together, they finish it in 4 days. How many days would it take to complete the work if they work alone? Okay, now there are two people, Pintu and Nishu. They have to complete a certain amount of work. Nishu is taking some days, but how many days Nishu is taking? More than that, 6 days Pintu is taking. But if they work together, they are completing the work in 4 days. We have to find out the individual days. So let's see the solution. Let's consider x be the number of days Nishu is taking to complete its work. Since Nishu is taking x, Pintu will take 6 days more, that is x plus 6. Let the number of days to complete certain work by Nishu be x and number of days to complete the work by Pintu be x plus 6. Now they are saying that the condition is they work together, they finish it in 4 days. If they work together, they will finish it in 4 days. So we will find out how much amount of work they are finishing in one day first. So the amount of work Nishu completes in one day is 1 upon x. So 1/4, one part of x she is completing in one day. 1 upon x she's completing in 1 day. So in 4 days she will complete 4 into 1 upon x, which is 4 upon x work. I repeat it again. They are saying that if they work together, they will finish it in 4 days. So we will first find out that how much amount of work is Nishu and Pintu completing in 1 day. Then we will multiply it by 4 days. So Nishu is completing 1 upon x work in 1 day, and in 4 days she will we multiply by 4, so we get 4 upon x work. Similarly, Pintu is completing 1 upon x plus 6 work in 1 day. So in 4 days, she will complete 4 upon 6 plus work. Now the condition is given that when they work together, they are completing it together. So 4 upon x plus 4 upon x plus 6 is equal to 1. Cross multiplying, we get 4 into x plus 6 plus 4x upon x into x plus 6 is equal to 1. Taking the denominator on my right hand side and opening the bracket, I get 4 into x is 4x, 4 into 6 is 24, plus 4 is equal to x into x is x square, and x into 6 is 6x. Now I'll take all the left hand side terms to my right hand side. It will become x square plus 6x minus 8x minus 24 is equal to 0. X square minus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. Okay, so when we split up, we get it as x square minus 6x plus 4x is equal minus 24 is equal to 0. X into x minus 6 plus 4 into x minus 6 is equal to 0. X minus 6 into x plus 4 is equal to 0. On splitting up, we get x minus 6 is equal to 0, or x plus 4 is equal to 0. X is equal to 6, or x is equal to minus 4. We have taken x as number of days. Days cannot be negative, and therefore the value of x is equal to 6. Now we shall find out the number of days needed by Nishu and Pintu. Days needed to complete certain work by Nishu is x, which is equal to 6 days, and days needed to complete certain work by Pintu is x plus 6, which is equal to 12. So your final answer is, if they work alone, Nishu will take 6 days and Pintu will take 12 days to complete the work. Next question, question number 9. If 460 is divided by a natural number, quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor and the remainder is 1. Find the quotient and the divisor. Very simple sum. Now what they have written, that we have to find the quotient and the divisor. And the condition for quotient is given. So we assume let the divisor be x. Now what is the condition? Quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor. 6 more means plus 6 and 5 times the divisor means 5x. So your quotient is 5x plus 6. This is according to the given condition. Divisor is x, quotient is 5x plus 6, dividend is 460 and the remainder is 1. In the lower classes, we had studied a formula of relation between dividend, divisor, quotient and remainder. Let's recall that formula. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. We have all the four values. We will substitute it now. Dividend is 460. So 460 is equal to x into 5x plus 1. 5x plus 1. On opening the bracket, 460 is equal to 5x square plus 6x plus 1. Taking 460 on the right hand side, we shall get 5x square plus 6x plus 1 minus 460 is equal to 0. So we get the equation as 5x square plus 6x minus 459 is equal to 0. Now if you see this, to factorize such a big number is difficult. It is not impossible, but it is little difficult and tricky. So we use the another formula method to find out the roots, that is x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a method. So when you compare 5x square plus 6x minus 459 with your general equation, we will get the values of a, b and c, and then using this formula we will get two different values of x. Then we will consider what is the value, since they have mentioned that it is a natural number. If it is a negative value of x, we will not consider it, and then you can solve. I will not be solving this sum. You have to solve it on your own. I have given you the solution, the answer you have to find on your own. With this, we finish with the exercise. Now let's look at the homework sums. Homework. In practice set 2.4, which is on page number 43 and 44, you will be doing question number 1, that is the first and the second question. In question number 2, you will be doing the first, second and the third question. And question number 3, you will be doing 2.5, page number 49 and 50, you will be doing question number 1, the first and the second sub question. Question number 2, 3 and 4, all the three questions, the sub question 1 and 2 you will be doing. And question exercise 2.6, which is on page number 53 and 54, question number 3, 4, 5 and 10 you will be solving. The sums I have already done, and these are the sums which you will be doing. If there are some sums which are left, those are the deleted sums which is cancelled. So you will not be solving those sums. With this, we have finished our quadratic equation chapter.